Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, we went to the antique store and we bought a nice oak credenza, a hand-painted porcelain lamp, and a copy of Crypt Killer for the Sega Saturn. A crooked trader is offering bum deals in this town, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society is offering bum deals with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Elders, and I am joined, as I'm always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. We've got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news from the week. And then on Thursday, we're making a garden out of our favorite Nintendo plants. But Mark, in the meantime, how's it going?
It's going great. We've had kind of like crazy spring weather here in LA. It was super hot.
Super hot, yes, that's right.
And a lot of like early blooming because it's been so warm.
So some like freak allergy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, my seasonal allergies have really been kicking up. So much
Really activated.
So much so that like we have a lily plant in our home that I took outside and like shook to get the pollen off of it, because you could see like white dust.
You gotta shake your plants.
You gotta shake your plant. That's what this is.
Right.
This is just a reminder to everybody.
Announcement.
Exactly. When you spring forward, do so with a plant in your hand.
Your plants.
Exactly.
And I just want to also clarify that earlier when I said freak allergies, that's not my allergy to freaks.
No, which is a separate thing that you are getting treated for.
Yes. Well, I had that thing on my back where they like expose it to a bunch of different kinds of freaks.
Exactly.
And then circled the ones where I was breaking out.
Uh-huh.
So yes, I'm seeking treatment for my freak allergies. But yeah, otherwise I feel a little bit like stuffed up, a little bit like high in the face.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
So if we sound a little different, that's why.
Rest assured, we're not different. We're the same.
We haven't changed. We're too old for that.
No, and honestly, here's how I prove that we've not changed. Mark?
Uh-huh.
John Boyega talking about being in more Star Wars, possibly?
I saw this, yes.
Also, Wonder Man coming back for season 2?
Okay, that is
Are we
crazy
back?
to
Are
me.
we sort of back? Both of these two data points are crazy to me.
Yeah.
Very excited about a second season of Wonder Man. First season, really fun.
Yeah, and I didn't think that it was likely at all.
No, me neither.
I thought this was
dumped
like
it.
Exactly. I thought this was just like a contractual
Yes.
obligation release.
There was like beginning of the year. Here are all the episodes at once, and like there was a little bit of like a ramp up like to the publicity of it.
Sure.
But like, you know, it wasn't a Marvel show hitting on that like MCU, you know, that like 2021 after that.
Exactly.
Being,
Yeah.
an event. But like season 2,
Miracles can happen.
miracles can happen. And now with Dave Filoni in charge of Star Wars, I guess now Boyega's like, yeah, okay, I don't know, I could be fit again. Who knows? Or do you think it's just like a matter of time?
I do think with a lot of this stuff, it is just a matter of time. But I mean, it hasn't been that long since he was pretty much like swearing it off.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, it's been 7 years.
yeah, best not to think about it.
It's best not to think about how how much time has passed ever.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, so people now have proof that we are the same.
Yes.
We've not changed at all. If you want further proof of that, you can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society, where if you are supporting us at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once-a-month episodes of miniseries like NCS at the Movies.
Yes, and at NCS at the Movies, Patrick, myself, and usually a special guest are going to the movie theaters together to see a movie and then talking about it. And we just talked about Project Hail Mary with friend of the show, Ryan Mogi. That episode came out over the weekend and is available right now. But also, no matter what level you're supporting us at,
Yes.
Free 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit. There are episodes of things available to you.
Yes, so check out those miniseries. They're all fun. They're all a good time. So go back and listen. If you're not, content with the 2-hour plus long episodes of this show that we do every week, there's more for you to check out. Mark, I gotta say, just regarding Project Hail Mary, that I'm glad that we got our conversation about it in before I took in any like internet discourse about it. Just because it feels like there's some like bad faith, whatever craziness, any reaction to a popular movie, right? But also like pegging it as like millennial Reddit humor is something that I've seen like
Oh,
showing up a
that's
lot.
interesting.
Which I think you had mentioned, like the movie was a little quippy for your tastes.
Yes, that's true.
But it's and like I agree with that criticism. But it's also like that seems to be dictating some people's entire reaction to the movie.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Which feels like a waste. And I'm also I'm so glad that I didn't have any of that in my head when we talked about it on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a really fun conversation, a fun movie to talk about.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. So yeah, check out Nintendo or patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society. You can also get into our Discord if you like to chat with us about Nintendo or other people who are listening to this podcast. Email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society
at gmail.com.
We will send you an invitation. You can hop right in there. Have a great time talking about Nintendo, this show, Project Hail Mary, possibly.
Jazz. That was a conversation happening
We were talking
today.
about jazz today. We really were. And I got to say, look, I know that jazz is frequently an inaccessible art form, and I will not claim to be an expert on jazz. But there has to be a place for music dorks to like go and listen to challenging music, right?
Right.
And I think for that mostly to be relegated to like modern classical music and jazz is fine.
It's maybe even good.
It's maybe even good. Like maybe the fact that we don't all like jazz is good.
Well, I like when jazz is happening to me. Like if I'm at a place, a live jazz especially.
And someone just scatting right in
Exactly. I love that. But rarely will I go like listen to it on my own.
Sure.
I don't know. I didn't type this in the Discord, so I guess I'm just sharing it now.
Well, and that's okay. That's the Discord is a way for people to communicate with us and for us to communicate with them. But we also have this other avenue of communication with them, which is the podcast.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
All right. So get into the Discord if you want to talk about jazz and other stuff. All right, Mark, let's get into what we've been playing this week. And just before we check in on our two games at the moment, I do just want to say that I have finished Fire Emblem Awakening.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank you. On hard mode.
Yeah. Wow.
And there it is a 10-episode miniseries cataloging my experiences with it, available at the Super NPC on their Patreon. Usually it comes out on the free feed in about a year. And the first episode is available to listen to for free. So check that out if you're interested in hearing me talk in excruciating detail about Fire Emblem Awakening with a bunch of fun people.
But I do want to hear
how
were you, because last week when we talked, you were just talking about like the fun had been
I was a little
the fun had seeped out of the experience
a little bit. A little bit. And you know, I in the penultimate chapter I had lost one of well, maybe this hadn't happened by the time that we recorded last week, but in the penultimate chapter I lost another character who the character's name is Morgan. It's your player character's child. So like my daughter had just been killed and I was like, oh man. But it was on my 9th attempt at that map. So I was like, I need to accept that.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And then like went into the final battle and really, man, when you are like selecting characters that like okay to die, it is really hard to. So I was playing as a male Robin, which means that Robin had a wife, and all of the women have their own children. And then Crom, who is a man, and if you have a male Ellers, or I guess either way, Ellers has their own child. So
Ellers being you.
Sorry, yes, Ellers is my Robin.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. Thank you. So that means that I was able to have a family of 4, a husband, wife, and their 2 children. And they all have like special bonds with each other. That means that they have extra special like stat boosts when they're battling next to each other. And it's also just, kind of more modular that like if you have 3 of them together, like that's still pretty good. You can have a unit of 4 and like split them off in any configuration of 2.
Oh, sure.
They're
Yeah.
still like boosting each other. And so losing a member of a core family like that really hurt. And so it just made the whole thing more difficult. So I had to just grind. I grind and grind and grind.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because when we talked last week, you had attempted a few times, I think, the final boss, and
Yeah.
you just didn't have the strength to take him out.
It could not take a
And
foothold in
so
that.
you did just end up going and doing like paralogs and stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
level up as much as you could.
Including some of there are a handful of post-game paralogs that are that were released as
PGP.
Spot Pass DLC,
Uh-huh.
which is like Spot Pass is like Street Pass, but like just for Fire Emblem Awakening. So these were like maps that I had downloaded onto my 3DS years ago when I could still do that. I couldn't there'd be no way to access them now, except that they've been sitting on my 3DS for years and years and years. And they all feature characters that died throughout the main campaign, coming back, and then some of them being recruitable. And so
Interesting.
in the first one of these maps, I was like, going into it, and I was like, okay, there's the guy. I can see him. And usually you just have to have Crom talk to them. And I was like, let me just double check on the internet and see what it takes to recruit this guy. Crom has to talk to him 3 times, which means that he will attack you during this.
Uh-huh.
So and then my guy's counterattack, and because my guy is Crom just wastes him in one turn. So I talked to him successfully once, then he attacked, and then Crom murdered him. So I was like, well, forget it. He's good for some experience points anyway. But yeah, so that I did really just a bunch of grinding, did a bunch of these paralogs.
So how does the game work? Like, if you didn't have those spot pass like paralogs to do,
They would just not be accessible.
but would you have? Are there other or is there an infinite number of missions that you could have done
Kind of
to level up if you had to?
So I mean, there were more like regular game paralogs, and I did like a couple of them that like I could do to recruit the children that I hadn't yet. So like those were still there, and you can always buy what's called a reeking box that will just summon units to whatever space you are currently on. But they're expensive. They're 4,800 gold, and like you don't have an infinite amount of gold. So like there is theoretically a finite number of amount of grinding that you could do. And I had enough grinding accessible to me that I could level up my guys to stage this final assault on the Fell Dragon Grima and defeat him. But even in that fight, I lost 2 more characters. But the game doesn't let you save after that fight, so I was kind of like, I don't know, are they really dead?
Right, yeah.
There's no permadeath if you can't save after the battle.
Well,
right?
there's always a spot pass mission that could potentially bring somebody back.
Except it's characters that die through the course of the story. Yeah, not characters
I
that I let
understand.
die.
That makes more
So
sense.
in this battle, it was the Mad King Gangrel that I was trying to recruit by talking to 3 times. Insanity. You would have to take all weapons off Crom and send him up there just to talk to this guy and take hits for 3 rounds in order to do it.
Is talk like a action?
Yes,
that you can take. Oh, okay,
and that ends the turn.
That's great.
But so yes, Fire Emblem Awakening is behind me at this point, and it really is. Despite my grumbling about how difficult it became at the end, few games affect me emotionally like Fire Emblem Awakening. I was, me, I'm a fairly calm individual, and I don't I'm not angry about games that I am playing. But when I would lose a character that I didn't want to lose and knew I was going to reset, it would it would channel an actual sincere emotion from me that I would be punching the desk and I would yell the involuntary reactions out of me. And then when I would finally beat the map, it was a joyous experience.
Uh-huh.
So the hard thing is also rewarding. Blah 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 blah. Ultimately, I had a great time playing Fire Emblem Awakening, and I hated it, and it's my favorite game ever. So check that. I'll shout it out again when it starts going up on the free feed. Really really fun time. Great group of people talking about it. I'm so excited now for Fortune's Weave whenever that comes out later this year.
Yeah, man, we've got to be hearing more about it in the next soon. June, probably.
Probably
we keep saying
June.
like June.
Yeah, I think I suspect it'll be an August game.
That makes sense. That would kind of follow what they've done in the past.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I guess not really. I
No,
mean, Engage was in January.
Yeah, exactly. And Three Houses was in October, right?
No, Three Houses, because Three Houses was before Link's Awakening. I think it was earlier in the year.
Okay, all right. I don't actually remember, but yes, and Link's Awakening was in October. Pretty sure.
Or end of September, or something like that. I think it was end of September because it came out the same day that Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of Elusive Age Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch
What a day!
was released.
What a day!
Okay.
Anyway, the games that we've been playing.
Yeah,
you've been playing Resident Evil Requiem.
That's right. And so last week I thought I was close to the end. I was not. But now I really am on the cusp of completing the game. Last night I was playing, and it was about midnight when I hit the final boss, and I knew that if I didn't do it on the first try, I would keep trying, and who knows how long that would take me. It just didn't feel responsible. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to put this away.
And also, you just never know if, like, the final boss is going to be a fight with the final boss, or if, like, it's a fight with the final boss, and then you got to do a fist fight with the final boss.
Right.
You got to chase him on a motorcycle.
Yes.
And then there's, like, one more thing where, like, he turns into a bear.
Right.
Right.
And so I didn't want to risk it, and so I put it away. And I haven't had a chance yet to go back to it. But I truly am, as far as I can tell, at the final boss for real, for real. I should have known that I wasn't, because I had not, like, I knew there had to be, like, a lab or some sort of, like, thing that you go to, just because it's a Resident Evil staple. And I hadn't reached that point, but I thought that the section I was in before that was going to be shorter than it was. You know what I mean? Like, I knew there was a lab I had to get through, but I thought I was closer to that lab than I actually turned out to be.
It is tough because you're in so many medical facilities in Requiem where it's like, it's kind of a lab. But no, I know what you mean. There got to be doors that slide open.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And
a room with, like, a projector in it.
And nary a sliding door up to that point. So really egg on my face.
Right.
But I'm really enjoying it. And I am excited for you to play it some more, so that way we can talk about it.
Well, if for me to do that, I will have to stop playing Pokemon Pokopia for a little bit. So I don't know. We're at an impasse here. Pokemon Pokopia remains an absolute delight. I don't really know that I have anything new to say about it. Other than I do just want to shout out the Pokemon that are unique to this game, that are like variations. They're very specific variations of popular Pokemon. We get the Professor Tangrowth. There's a Snorlax covered in moss, which they called a Mosslax. Means he's especially sleepy. There's also, I recently found a very peaked Pikachu who goes by Pikachu, who is just like drained of color because he spent all of his electricity to like keep his friends warm or something. And I love this idea that they are taking Pokemon, a breed of Pokemon, and being like, no, this one is a very specific version of this guy. And it's just so fun and so, I don't know, it makes them all feel like they're little characters and not just, creatures there for the sole purpose of collecting them.
Right. Do you continue to just like push forward area to area, or do you find yourself like going back to previous areas?
Yeah, I mean, I have gone back a little bit, and I'm not as maniacally focused on like just doing the next thing as I probably should. I am still in the Bleak Beach, and one of the like main missions of Bleak Beach is like wire up the town for electricity. but I kind of got ahead of the game on that one and was like setting up poles and like finding the electricity generators and like clearing paths between them so I could really like run these electrical cables and then like got to a point where like Tangrowth is like, we should find a generator of electricity, and I'm like, oh, I found like 4, and he's like, this one over there, and I'm like, that's the one I didn't. And he's like, we got to wire that one up, and I'm like, but I already wired up these other. Anyway, there have just been several moments in my last like hour of play where Pokemon are like patiently explaining the problem to me, and then like telling me what to do.
I see.
And
yeah.
then I like talk to them again, and they're like, "Oh, you already did it."
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I should just be doing a little bit more mainlining and then coming back to, take care of the others, the aesthetic stuff afterwards.
Yeah. I am excited to start checking it out once I finish Requiem.
Yeah. Well, so we are getting not close, but we are less than a month away at this point to a Tomodachi Life Living the Dream.
Right.
Which I think is going to occupy a similar space, but without Pokemon, and really without the like terraforming sort of like builder aspect.
I know that they're like different. They're based on the direct that they did for Tomodachi Life. They're very different games, but I wonder if Pokopia will kind of like steal the thunder of like the social media momentum or whatever of Tomodachi Life.
I mean, that's sort of what I'm, and maybe the individual like scenarios will be silly enough and like fun enough that people will want to share those. But yeah, the sort of like very chill hangout vibes. It does feel a little crazy that Nintendo would release 2 of these games in such close proximity to each other. But maybe that's also like here they capture the Switch 2 market, there they capture the Switch 1 market.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We haven't, to my knowledge, have people gotten like hands on with that? Have we seen like preview?
I don't think we have seen previews
coverage
of Tomodachi Life yet.
That's interesting, right? That kind of stuff's got to be happening pretty soon.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, we're less than a month away at this point. All right, Mark, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week.
So we'll of course do our check-in with Nintendo Music first, and there's nothing today. But now that we've had a few months, years, whatever, of like being able to see how Nintendo's operating this, it wouldn't surprise me if we will end up getting tracks on Thursday to mark the release of Super Mario Brothers Wonder, the Switch 2 edition with Meetup in Bella Bell Park.
That's a great point.
Because
is Wonder on there already?
The Wonder soundtrack is already on there,
Gotcha.
but I wonder if it'll be some tracks from Bella Bell Park expansion. So
yeah, that would make sense. Although like, yeah, maybe just some tracks, right?
Right,
like
right.
A handful of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then also last week, we learned on Pokemon Day, which everybody knows is February 27th, that and Shinya Takahashi.
That's right.
That Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness would be released in March for the GameCube Nintendo Classics on Switch 2. But that happened last week. That game is now available as part of the expansion pack.
March 17th is when it came out. So just if we are trying to triangulate any sort of information from like what's the distance between when Pokemon Day announcement happens for NSO and they just say March, like about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll have to like file that away.
Well, so the spreadsheet does note when the games are announced versus when they come out.
I don't even know why I thought for a second that the spreadsheet wouldn't be tracking that information.
Of course, the spreadsheet is tracking that information. I should make another column that then tells us the time lapse between the two.
Yeah, work up a formula for that.
Yeah, it's an easy one.
Wednesday, March 25th. Get a handful of Switch 2 editions of existing games. Disney Dreamlight Valley is getting a Switch 2 edition. Warframe, it gets a Switch 2 edition. And then Tales of the Shire gets a Switch 2 edition.
So 2 big like cozy games in Disney Dreamlight Valley and Tales of the Shire. again, like entering the space that is currently dominated by Pokemon Pokopia.
Yep.
So good luck to them. And then Warframe probably not in direct competition.
Probably not in direct competition. Then on Thursday there is that.
Well, actually, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because the Mega Man DLC is coming to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Okay.
I just wanted to shout it out because I like seeing Mega Man and stuff.
Well, on Thursday, you can pick up Sonic Racing Cross Worlds at retail, the Switch 2 version of that.
Yep.
And then also, I mentioned it before, Super Mario Brothers Wonder Switch 2 edition with Meetup in Bellabelle Park is released.
Yeah, let's just pause on that for a second because how are you feeling about that currently? Is that on your list to upgrade? Mark's doing a little dance
Well,
right
just
now.
because I am planning to upgrade it, but it's so
there's no urgency to it.
And it's so multiplayer focused that I don't really feel an urgency to do it until I'm going to experience the multiplayer. You know what I mean?
Right. And then also, like, if you are going to experience the multiplayer, might you just be doing that at someone's house who has purchased this?
Right. So and plus, like, I just have so many games right now that I'm trying to.
You have to get back to Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I do, and I still want to play more into Paranormicide. I only got like an hour or two into the Mermaid's Curse, and so there's just a lot going on in my life right now. I'm trying to have it all, and
you're succeeding, I would say, to this point. I'm gonna upgrade this on day one, and I'm excited to try it out. I was thinking it would be fun to try to have people over this weekend.
I would really enjoy that.
So I cannot, unfortunately, this weekend. Sarah's parents are in town. But the following weekend, I would love to.
And you're ashamed for them to meet me? Is that what that what the situation is? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know you exist. Yeah, well, no. Do you want to hang out with some septuagenarians?
Just saying, it's nice to be invited.
Okay, Mark, would you like to come over to my house?
No, I can't this weekend. But anyways, yes, we should at some point. It would be fun to get together and play it because that's the only way I'm going to play this in multiplayer.
Totally.
So,
relatedly, the amiibo are coming out.
Yes,
on Thursday.
And
those amiibo are, of course, Elephant Mario, Captain Toad, and with a talking flower, and Poplin and Prince Florian.
And these, I know that you pre-ordered?
I sure did, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I pre-ordered them on the same day that I canceled my pre-order for the Mario Galaxy amiibo.
Yeah, those are stinkers in comparison for sure.
And it was cheaper to pre-order these 3 than to buy those 2. So
I think these are solid amiibo.
And not solid in like they're too big kind of way,
right,
like the Mario Galaxy ones.
Yeah.
I appreciate amiibo taking on many different forms. I would like them to explore forms beyond just like statue, right?
Yeah.
And I don't need them to be big.
No.
In fact, give me smaller amiibo.
I think embiggening them was a mistake.
I agree. I think embiggening them was a mistake.
Also on Thursday, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage is released.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way that this is punctuated makes me think that it might be Virtua Fighter 5 REVO, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to say that. It's just a lot of work.
It's tough to know if you're dealing with an acronym or an initialism, right? And if you're supposed to actually pronounce it as a word or as letters.
Yeah.
Because also sometimes they can be combined, like the now departed USAID was also sometimes referred to as USAID.
Right.
It's like what are we and like I remember calling AOL Instant Messenger, calling that AIM, but like the A in AIM stands for AOL.
It's like a nesting.
It really is, yeah. And boy, that's another data point that you and I have not changed. Just told a joke about AOL Instant Messenger.
And then finally, Kenya Bridge of Spirits is released digitally on Switch 2 on Thursday.
I think it's just Kenna.
Kenna, yeah, that would make sense.
This was an interesting announcement just a couple of weeks ago that it was going to be coming to
this
Switch
was at like
2.
the Xbox presentation, right? Is that where we learned about this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So the Kenna is getting
Oh,
a
is this
sequel.
a PlayStation game?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
the first Bridge of Spirits originally came out on PlayStation, but was not like associated with Sony or PlayStation. The second game is being published as a like PlayStation Studios game on PS5. And so like kind of interesting that like a week or so after that announcement that we get the news that the first game is in fact coming to Switch too.
That's
So yeah, it was actually a like a lone trailer divorced from the indie showcase that we didn't really talk about that much when Connor was on the show. So yeah, I guess I've only known about this for like literally 2 weeks, and here it is.
And then on Friday, Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection is released.
I don't know anything about the Star Force games. You know anything about the Mega Man Star Force games?
I know that they're Nintendo DS games.
Okay, are they like role playing?
They are.
games?
I believe
Okay.
they're action RPGs.
Got it.
That are like on a grid, maybe.
But isn't that Battle Network?
Could it be?
It could be both.
It could be both. I think it's possible it's both.
I do like an RPG on a grid.
This could be a follow-up to the Battle Network series.
For all
I
we
know.
know.
Yeah. Or a precursor.
Yeah. Well, probably not.
Probably not a
because
precursor.
we know those started off on GBA.
Right.
Right. We know that. It's strange to me the turns that the Mega Man franchise took while I wasn't paying attention.
And that they no longer pursue any of that.
Yeah, right. Well, we are getting like a new like standard 2D Mega Man in what's that new one called? Like Dual Exhaust? That's not right, of course.
Ugh, I can't remember.
Mega Man. Mark's looking it up.
Yeah, I'm
but
looking it up.
yeah, but that they seemingly have no interest in reviving these other
Dual Override.
Dual Override. I was pretty close.
Yeah.
Override or Overdrive?
Override.
Override. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Dual Override.
Oh yeah, they just recently announced like the winners of the robot
Oh, did they?
boss contest. Yeah.
Do we know?
We haven't really been tracking Mega Man 12 that closely because there was also the thing that like the voice of Mega Man in Mega Man 11 is not returning because it's not under a union contract, and so they're finding somebody else, I guess.
See ya.
Yeah.
Well, Connor and I talked about the 7 or so finalists that are like the winners, but that the developers still had to pick like the one that they're going with.
Oh, maybe that's what I saw.
There's like Cleanser Man and
yeah, maybe that's
there's
the
a
news that I
Cactus
saw.
Man.
See, this is why this is not in the news section, is because as usually the news section is so detailed and researched. You know what I mean?
Right. And now we just have Mark Googling things live. Mega Man.
And like fat fingering it, and so it's like I'm sweaty because I'm trying to gather all this information as quickly as I can.
And we've got allergies.
But we haven't changed.
All right.
We haven't changed at all. No.
Okay.
Tell
me.
No, I don't have the information, but I found a page that might have the information. Okay.
Why did you tell me to wait then? I was just going to move on.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right that it's just the
No, come on, tell me
six
what-
final.
tell
No,
me what
I
they
can't. I don't actually have that information. I don't actually have the information.
All right, Mark, let's close out the new releases. Which brings us to a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo, so for the duration of one performance of 433, Mark and I will talk about something not at all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. I'm still sort of laughing about not being able to find that information. All right. So, Mark, today for 433, we are talking about sodas, and we're going to come up with our list of the 10 best sodas.
Yeah, and part of the reason this came up is because you brought with you to the recording a can of Coca-Cola Zero.
Yes.
Which I feel like I don't see you drink soda very often.
Right, and I do not
Was it
drink
somebody's birthday at work or what?
No, it was nobody's birthday at work.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, if it was and I didn't do anything about it, that's my responsibility at work. No, we bought some Coke Zero around our New Year's party.
Okay. Oh, okay.
As just like we need to have party drinks, and it also can make like mixed drinks and stuff. Just like we had bought a bunch of liquor as well, and so now we just like have a bunch, and again, suffering from some allergies, and I was just like, I need like a little pick me up. And I was like,
Totally.
should I stop somewhere and get a coffee? Getting a coffee at like 7 o'clock at night feels like a choice. And I was like, but no one will look twice if you have a Coke Zero at 7 o'clock at night. Enter Mark Mitchell.
No.
Look twice. Wanted to talk about it.
I didn't grow up drinking cola. But
What was your soda of choice growing up?
Sprite, a lot of Sprite,
Yeah.
a lot of root beer.
I was gonna, for whatever reason, it seemed like I was like, it's gonna be a root beer or a ginger ale. It's gonna be one of those old timey sodas.
Yeah, it's a root beer. But
if
now
you had grown up on the East Coast, it would have been Moxie. Like,
I don't know what that is.
Moxie is a vile soda from the northeast of the United States. I tried it one time, and I remember thinking it tasted like earwax.
Does it still exist?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's like a main standard, I believe.
Wow.
Moxie soda. Does Moxie still exist? Yes. That's right. A New England tradition, especially Maine. So I have not said a lie about Moxie yet.
That's right. So they can't sue us. So I didn't grow up drinking cola, but when I'm on vacation, I love to get a Coca-Cola Zero.
You know what? We will list our 10 best sodas, but I think just like a Coca-Cola, it's kind of.
I mean, it's good.
It's a slam. Like they figured it out.
Yeah, I was never really again because I didn't grow up drinking Pepsi, and it's not very available in a lot of places. And so I've never had like Pepsi Zero or something.
Wait, I want to interrogate that for a second. What do you mean it's not available? Is that true? That like there are like parts of the country where Pepsi's not available?
Like if you're on an airplane, at a restaurant on vacation, it's just like Pepsi's not as available as Coca-Cola. So odds are you're going to have Coke Zero and not Pepsi Zero.
Right. How do you feel on the zero versus diet divide? In some ways, I recognize that they are just trying to market a more masculine diet soda. To me.
I don't think so. I think that diet sodas have a different taste to them.
I agree.
Than Coca-Cola Zero, because Coca-Cola Zero is if you want the taste of Coca-Cola, but with zero sugar, versus Diet Coke, you just want a Diet Coke.
But Diet Coke is or at some point became the more like feminine soda drink.
That's probably true. Probably because it is. That's 100% true.
And then at some point the Coke company was like, we need to be selling diet sodas to men too. But yeah, I in recent years have discovered that when I drink a diet soda, I get a headache. But that does not happen with a zero.
Interesting. Do they use different? We're not going to get around to ranking to list our 10
No,
best
let's
sodas.
just keep talking about it.
But do they use different artificial sweeteners?
Oh,
they probably. My guess would be yes.
My guess would also be yes, because it's obviously not exactly the same. I mean, this also says aspartame, so like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Diet. I'm again furiously trying to Google this information.
I'll just say that when I was a child, I used to drink a lot of soda, much to my mother's chagrin, and that like I responded to all of the worst sodas, like Mountain Dew. Or there was a Wildwood Red Pop that we really liked, and would just have like Wildwood was I think the store brand of Woodman's grocery store in Wisconsin, and that we would have that Red Pop.
What is Red Pop?
It's like a red soda.
Is it like because I've never liked a cream. I'm just talking over the applause. That's right. I'm not done talking about
No,
this.
that's cool. You're supposed to ride the wave.
I've never liked cream soda. That's
Yeah.
never appealed to me. But there is like a red cream soda, and so do you think
I mean,
like
probably, but
Yeah.
this is not creamy.
Oh,
This
okay.
well, and like it's a very specific taste for the Wildwood Red Pop because I know that Fago also has a red pop,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember trying it when Wildwood was not available and being like, "This is revolting."
But it's not like a strawberry. It's not like a fruit.
I'm sure there's like essence of strawberry in it.
Oh, sure.
But like, I mean, just like every soda, it's it's flavored by science before anything else.
Right. Right. Okay. I looked it up.
Uh-huh.
Diet Coke uses more aspartame, and then Coca Zero Sugar uses aspartame too, but combines it with acesulfame potassium. So there you go.
And that's the stuff I love. So.
They call it Ace K.
Ace K.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've reached for this can out of necessity. Will I have another one? I mean, not tonight. But perhaps there's a bunch in my fridge right now. What am I supposed to do?
No,
I will
didn't
offer you one next time.
I
you come
didn't mean to
over.
call. Oh yeah, well that won't be this weekend, will it?
No, it'll be on Wednesday when we record our podcast together. I'm also seeing you tomorrow. All right.
That was the 10 best sodas.
Those are the 10 best sodas as ranked by us. We were accompanied today by an ensemble at the Musical Instrument Museum in Phoenix. All right, Mark, let's get into the news.
We don't cover all game announcements. When something is announced for Switch 2 or for Switch, we don't necessarily cover it unless it tickles our fancy in a particular way. And I thought this one was noteworthy for calling out.
Consider my fancy tickled.
Yes, and it is yours specifically because I've have not actually ever owned a Picross game, but Jupiter, the developers of the series, have announced a new entry in the Picross series, Picross S Konami Antiques Edition.
Yes, very cool. They've done a handful of these. Like they did a Capcom one. They started with the Bandai Namco one, and I think there's one more that's out there. But now a Konami. I love and we kind of riffed on it at the beginning of the episode. But the branding is Konami Antiques Edition.
Yeah, the franchises in there are going to be ancient.
That's right. That we're not going to see like Metal Gear Solid,
Silent
5.
Hill.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. This game launches April 30th for the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be $18, $17.99. Features more than 80 titles from classic Konami series like Gradius, Twinbee, Castlevania, Gonbari, Goemon, and Contra, amongst others.
The Konami classics. I guess our joke was about Crypt Killer. Probably not anything from Crypt Killer.
Maybe they'll have like a grab bag.
Yeah, maybe
selection.
But like there wouldn't be any sprites from that game. It was a Saturn game.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I mean this is cool. This is exciting. Every now and then the Picross games go on sale. And I feel like I have so infrequently actually completed everything that's in a Picross game. So I feel silly buying a new one at full price when I have more puzzles to play. But you just kind of like run out of steam or you get tired of hearing the same music. And all these releases have slightly different music to them. So that mix up can be usually enough. But if the other if like the Capcom one has gone on sale, maybe I'll buy that. Would you have an ask for this if they were to make one of these? I mean, I guess the obvious is NES. Like
that'd be
Nintendo
fun. Yeah.
Sprites.
Yeah. The one that I kind of like covet is the Twilight Princess special one that was like on my Nintendo for platinum points.
That's right.
That I never picked up.
Could not be purchased with money.
Yeah.
It currently resides on my 3DS along with those Spot Pass paralogs.
But I think that would be fun to see them do again. And, a couple of years ago we had that, maybe it was because like a Picross anniversary or something, but there was interviews with Jupiter about kind of the relationship because Nintendo like partly owns the name Picross, right? And so
Yes.
they were saying that Jupiter has to basically get permission from Nintendo. They have to work with Nintendo anytime they want to release like a Picross product.
Yes.
And I think that Nintendo has just gotten too big, too busy to really like worry about it. But it would be fun if they continued to do those sort of collaborations that they were doing 10, 15 years ago, where it's like, hey, here's a special Picross.
I mean, honestly,
title
even
for like
30 years ago, right?
Right.
Like Mario's Picross on
Great
Game
point.
Boy.
And I guess we do have that one on NSO now.
Yes.
Mario's Picross.
Well, we have the Super NES one as well. That was a Super Famicom game, never localized, and it's all in Japanese. But then like there was the Pokemon Picross also on 3DS. They do have a real history of like a relationship there of making crossover games. Why aren't they doing it now?
It'd be fun maybe if like with Tetris 99 we get events every once in a while. It'd be fun
I thought
if
you
there
were about
like,
to suggest Picross 99.
I mean, no, I was gonna say just like promotional events to celebrate a new game release or whatever. Just get like a Picross puzzle or two. I don't know.
No,
Just,
that would be
wish,
awesome. If
wish
there was
casting at this point.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, that's fine. Let's do it. Let's cast our wishes. What do you do with a wish? Wishes are granted when they come true, but otherwise you just wish them?
Yeah, I guess you just wish a wish.
It's the verb and the noun? Just like a blanket Nintendo Picross.
Yeah.
And then that they would, like you say, promote with special
Yeah, like
events.
when Capcom had its like arcade title that was basically just like it came with some arcade games, but then just became like a platform for them to release other arcade games.
Yeah. That stuff's so cool. I wish I liked the Capcom arcade games more. Cause like there's a lot of just sort of like Drek in there, but has all of the like graphics of the actual machines and like the tables and all that kind of stuff. It's the kind of thing that I wish Nintendo would do with like Game & Watch.
Totally, yeah.
To really like sell the physical reality.
Yeah, like celebrate like the
machines.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the object itself.
Yep.
Because that's such a big part of like an arcade experience or like Game & Watch or something like that.
But yeah, Picross S Konami Antiques Edition. I do note that this is not a Picross S2, so it's not for Switch 2. When do you think we get our first Switch? What would be the point of releasing a Switch 2 exclusive Picross game?
Should have been tied to Pocopia.
It should have. That's all blocks and squares and stuff.
It should have been a Pocopia. It should have been like Star Fox Zero and Star Fox Guard type thing,
where they're packaged together, but you could also buy them separately if you wanted to. Hey man, I got my Star Fox Guard disc sitting on my bookshelf right now.
I know, slippy and grippy, baby.
That's right. We should play it. Although I'd have to dig the Wii U out of the attic. I have an attic now.
You might remember a few weeks ago, and I honestly would have told you it was maybe like 2 weeks ago, but I looked it up and it was January. We talked about a mysterious new model code that showed up on Nintendo's account page with the code OSM. So if you remember, if you are on your like My Nintendo account and you look at like the systems that you own, it's like this like portal, and the portal has images for each like system. So if you own a Switch 2, it has like a graphic of a Switch 2 indicating that you own it. And then you can like try different codes and see like if it returns an image of a system or not. And so somebody found that there was a code OSM which returned an image of a Switch 2. The Switch 2 that exists, and that's like a new product code that's not tied to anything that we know about currently.
And the other Switch codes are like HAE, HAD, HDH, and HEG.
Right, and the Switch 2 code is BEE.
Sure.
Right. So
I just want to know like who got access to this back end and was like, I'm gonna try.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just gonna try 3-digit numbers or letters until they.
Right, but you could probably just write a script, right, to keep pinging the Nintendo, like server and be like, what if I, and then it just is running through all the different combinations till it finds a hit or something. Anyways, that's just a reminder of what we talked about in. I was about to say reported on, and then I was like,
no,
so dishonest.
Don't claim that.
Since we talked about in January. So Why am I bringing it up now? Well, this past week, Japanese news outlet Nikkei reported that Nintendo is working on a Switch 2 revision to comply with the European Union's requirements that owners be able to replace a device's battery themselves. So like swappable batteries, basically.
Yeah.
And I believe that takes effect in 2027 or something like that. So, so the thought now is that, I mean, as Nikkei saying, they are creating this model to meet those requirements. Could that be what OSM is? Is that new model?
Very possible. It seems too early for like a revision otherwise,
Right.
especially when we know that like Nintendo was really stockpiling the parts for these things for a long time. But I kind of want to just like stay on the version of it with a replaceable battery for a little bit. I mean, technically, the battery is replaceable now. You would just have to like crack into it and like
Yeah, so I think the idea is
do some warranty voiding stuff.
and that's exactly what, the European Union is saying. Users shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't have to void their warranty in order to replace a battery. So I believe like most, if not all, like electronic devices are going to be required to have batteries that, like the old days, like if you had an old MacBook, there was like just a replaceable battery, and then you would go to the Apple store and you would buy a new battery and just like pop it back in, flip the switch, and it'd be like locked into place.
Yeah.
And as devices got smaller and thinner and all that kind of stuff, they've moved away from that. But the European Union has a mandate to bring it back. I wonder if they do this. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but
I think you're about to answer my question.
If this is what it is, I wonder if they'll keep it exclusive to Europe, or because what would be the benefit?
Simplify things,
right?
But I mean, but it would simplify things to make it like going forward just the model that's available for everyone.
But I guess the only caveat there is it more expensive? Can you do right? And also, then you have to supply replacement batteries.
Yeah,
and you have to distribute them, and you have to try to get stores to stock them or whatever.
But again, doesn't Nintendo do that now? That you can buy a replacement, like you bought a replacement battery for your 3DS.
Yeah,
ended up not really changing anything for you. But you got that through Nintendo.
I did,
right?
through support, and I guess also it would open it up to like third party batteries, right?
Yeah.
Although I could see why a company wouldn't want that, because people could buy like a battery and it explodes or something, and then
or ends up breaking the system in one way or another. Like there was an issue with third-party docks at the release of the Switch 1 that would mess up the Switch. So yeah, I mean, obviously, Nintendo would rather it be a closed circuit, and then they can take full responsibility for whatever happens within that closed circuit. But like, it is ultimately a pro-consumer thing to be like, yeah, you should be able to replace your battery. And it's again, because of European regulations that like basically everything is USB-C now. Like that's the law there. And maybe, I mean, I'm sure at some point that will become a limiting factor, and that there'll be some other kind of port that we will wish that we have access to, and maybe even like multiple power ports on something. But it really is convenient to just have like everything be that now, instead of like, is it a micro USB or a mini USB or God forbid some proprietary thing like the 3DS, that you just have one cable that like works for everything is better.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, none of this is official. Nintendo hasn't announced anything, and maybe it won't even end up being code OSM, but
that may be something else.
Yeah.
So you gonna buy one?
If they release one with a swappable battery?
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Maybe if it's a different color.
No, only difference.
Oh, only difference. No, I don't think so.
Okay, but you could buy different Joy-Cons for it.
Well, I can do that today.
I know.
So no, probably not.
Okay, great.
There really is something not very exciting about like the inner circle of a Joy-Con joystick is a different color.
Well, and also when you pull the Joy-Con
right
off
on the side, that rail is a different color.
It is not enough, but they've made their bed here.
No, it's true, and they did release that one alternate pair.
Yes.
But God bless the people who bought it, but it's just kind of like, who cares?
It totally is like, who cares? Also, and I know we talked about this on the show, the inside of the Switch 2, like they're
Doesn't
not
change.
rails, but yeah, those are the same old colors. So you are now like color clashing with the colors. The Joy-Cons and the cavity that they go into are different colors now.
Yeah. I wonder if it's all with an eye towards um like cost efficiency, right? Trying to keep the cost of manufacturing Switch 2s down as much as possible. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, if there's less variance, then we don't have to like worry about overproducing or anything. It's just like everybody gets the same thing.
Yeah. I mean that is true, and like neither of us bought like a ton of Joy-Con, right?
No, I mean, I
For
bought
the original Switch.
I mean, it was over the course of like 8 years, but I bought, let's see, 4 additional pair over time.
Is one of those additional pair though the white that came with your OLED?
No, I think it's like no. I not counting the OLED and not counting the grays that came with it originally. I think I bought 3. I had like the
You had a Splatoon
the Splatoon
set?
2 set,
Right.
that was like pink and green, like neon pink, neon green.
Right.
I had a Splatoon 3 set that no. I for whatever reason I had a like neon blue and neon yellow,
Right.
and then so maybe it was just maybe
Maybe it was just those two, because I think I had one of those Splatoon sets and also the Princess Peach
right.
Showtime pink ones.
Yeah.
Which of course I had to buy because that was during the year that I was buying everything.
That's
Nintendo
right.
Put out.
2024.
Yep. Which fine, great decision by me. But yeah, like so at least those pink ones. Well, but I also had to buy them because they were new. So I don't know. I'm trying to determine, like, is releasing a new Joy-Con color a motivating factor to buy new Joy-Con, or are you buying them because you need them anyway and you're like, well, they may as well be a fun color?
You know, that's a great point. I will say the first pair I bought, the Splatoon 2 ones,
Yeah.
it was a motivating factor because I had bought the all gray, and then
We thought we were being so, like, mature and normal.
but it was just so boring.
Yeah, we
and
wanted to have fun.
And those were fun, and so I bought those, and then those got drift really. Oh no, they didn't hold a charge. See, I feel like I do have 3 pair because
Maybe you
the
do, yeah.
Splatoon 2 ones didn't. They stopped holding a charge, or they started drifting. What I have 2. I have like
There are so many things that can go wrong with them. And also, when it goes wrong with one of them, you just assume that the other one is, like, you junk the other one as
okay.
well.
Here's what I think it is.
Yeah, lay it on me.
I think that that my original gray ones started drifting,
Yes.
but I think that happened after I bought
The
the Splatoon 2 ones.
Yeah.
And then the Splatoon 2 ones stopped holding a charge. And so then I bought a second pair. I mean, this is all documented, I'm sure, somewhere in the history of this podcast.
Right.
But
And these are all things that you and I still own, right?
yeah, and it's not even that interesting to talk about.
No, truly.
And here we
I'm
are.
bored. But like currently, I own an extra pair of Joy-Con 2. They're not
I
a
do
different
too.
color, but I just bought them with the
Yeah.
launch of the thing, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
they don't need to be a different color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think if they release ones that are truly different somehow,
Yeah.
like they have a faceplate, they have, that's like fun or attractive, or yeah, they're just like totally different colors.
Or like a bunch of extra buttons.
If they just had a bunch of extra buttons,
Yeah.
I would buy that.
Yeah.
I would buy a second pair
Yeah.
at that point.
I mean,
think, or a third pair at this
I
point.
mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be $100.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's true. Let's see. Just tracking high-profile Switch games that are moving around their release dates. High on Life 2 was originally set for release on Switch 2 on April 20th. And then on Monday, the digital version was announced to be delayed to July 1st. So it was going to come out on April 20th digitally. Yes. The physical version was going to release in July.
Sometime in July.
Now they've announced that the digital version of High on Life 2 is delayed until July 1st, and the physical version is sometime in July.
So stealing a little bit more time to make sure the thing is running on Switch 2. The way it's been out on other platforms for a little while. But we just every now and then game releases move up. Sometimes they move back. This one, moved back, but like with a date. So like not a Meet of the Hollower situation, just a High on Life 2 situation, and not a Borderlands 4 situation.
Yes. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is getting McDonald's Happy Meal toys starting March 26th, so later this week.
Mark, I remember having some Happy Meal toys for like Super Mario Brothers back in like the 90s.
I remember the Super Mario Brothers 3 toys.
Yes, that's what it was. And having some of those. They quickly became bath toys.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I mean? Just go in the bucket. Or I guess it was a basket that then would be toys that go in the bath. I don't think these would do that. They're keychains.
Yes, these are keychains. And they have keychains of Mario, Fire Mario, Frog Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Bowser Jr., Wonder Bowser Jr., Birdo, Luma, Bowser, Toad, and Rosalina. And they're all like on like a stand, and then they have a
like a coin or something behind them.
Yes, some sort of like framing device behind them. And I understand that in Super Mario Galaxy, Mario, when he's like launching into a level, has his arms out like he's flying. But this particular keychain makes it look like Mario is dying for our sins.
Yes. It does. Yeah. It does seem like Mario is up on the cross and should come down. It is bizarre to me that these are keychains.
Yeah, I don't have a good sense of how large they are.
Who is it for?
Because
is it for children or for grown adults?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess it's for both, right? I'm sure they want these to be. They love when Happy Meal toys are
sought after by adults. Yeah, that's true. And usually it takes like a Disney product of some kind for that to become a thing,
or a Pokemon thing,
But maybe also a Mario thing. There were the Super Mario Brothers movie Happy Meal toys as well. So, this is a partnership that Nintendo's done a couple times before. I do think it's interesting that Toad clearly looks like Captain Toad.
Yeah.
And that like that's what he's going to do in this movie is have the headlamp and the backpack and everything. But we're still just calling him Toad.
Yeah, I mean, this movie seems to have like iconography from a bunch of different parts of the franchise. So we'll just like a week away, a little more than a week away.
Yeah, a week
T-minus 8 days.
A week from tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We will be seeing this movie and then talking about it with a special guest.
Also, at least in Brazil, I said that weird. Brazil.
Brazil.
They're providing 3 Mario-themed nugget dipping sauces: jalapeno with a fire flower on the package, mystery, and mushroom. And I mean, this is more exciting to me than the keychains.
If we get these dipping sauces here, do we have to go to McDonald's?
Yeah, and then you could dip them in fries.
Yeah, I could dip the fries in them for sure.
No. I said what I meant.
Right, because I don't eat the chicken nuggets.
Right.
Then I have to like reverse the polarity of sauces.
That's sauce science right there.
That is sauce science.
Finally, a reminder that Game Chat will no longer be free to use starting in April. So when the Switch 2 launched, Game Chat was available to everyone as like a special preview, even those without a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. But after March 31st, NSO will be required at any level. So even if you just have the like $20 a year subscription, but Game Chat is going behind a paywall.
How successful do you think the freeness of Game Chat has been for Nintendo?
I have no clue. I would be so curious to know if they are internally happy with like the results, because Game Chat is such a big new feature for the Switch 2.
Right.
I wonder if they're happy with like the amount of usage it's currently getting.
And was like pitched as like a central feature at the reveal of the machine. And obviously that's not really how it's panned out going forward, or at least from our perspective.
Right. And it's hard. I feel like we could very easily be the exception to the rule. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, really it's like, who knows? I do think that like the people plugged in enough to know that Game Chat is free and then use it are probably also plugged in enough to subscribe to NSO.
Probably. But I could see like...
They're children, of course.
If you're just like first buying a Switch 2 and you're not really plugged in, you're like, what does this button do? Right.
Right.
Having access to it and being able to try it seems like it'd be valuable. Because how do you know that it's worth subscribing if you don't have an opportunity to try it first?
You want to play Mappy Land on NES.
Finally, there's a special Spring Splatfest happening the weekend of April 10th through 12th in Splatoon 3. This is a perennial favorite, having first appeared in 2024. It's a special Splatfest, so like the lobbies the areas in the game, like Splatsville, are decorated with a spring theme, and they have like special music.
Fun.
The theme is fuzzy fluffiness, and players will choose to be members of one of 3 teams: baby chicks, lil bunnies, and bear cubs.
A couple things. First of all, I love that this is the week after Easter.
Well, it's spring themed.
I understand.
It's not Easter themed.
There's a chick and a bunny. The bear, I'll grant, is an outlier. Does not feed into the Easter theme. But first of all, I love that. Second of all, I like that they're not content to be like baby chicks, baby bunnies, baby bears. Each one gets its own baby chicks, lil bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies could be adults. They're just small.
They're just small.
Or
little,
yeah.
And then bear cubs. And the graphic that they're using to promote this is, I think, quite funny. And the bear cub looks so like spaced out, and he doesn't know what's going on.
No, it's true.
Mark, if you had to participate in this Springfest Splatfest, what team would you join here? It's a tough one, right?
It's between, baby chicks are right out.
Oh, okay.
There's no question in my mind that baby chicks are not it.
Here's the thing. Lately, I have been bonding with a Torchic who's been turning my clay into bricks.
Okay, I'm listening.
So I'm just saying I've been bonding with a Torchic. Makes me think of a baby chick. So
you're not dismissing baby
he's not
chicks.
Right out. For
yeah.
me.
Okay. I think I would go with bear cubs. Yeah. Knowing the danger that I'd be getting myself into.
Well, it's a cub.
But the mom must be nearby.
Unless
these bears are being kidnapped. In which case I would have to choose little bunnies because
no mama bunny is going to threaten you.
Exactly.
I think you're in trouble if the bear cub is the cub of one of those cocaine bears.
Oh, sure.
That'd be a real issue.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it on our episode about Project Hail Mary? But Lord and Miller also produced Cocaine Bear.
No, we didn't talk about it at all.
Strange little data point. So yeah, I'll be on Team Cocaine Bear.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Mark, let's close this out. That is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Remember, if you're not in the Discord, you should be. So email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com, and I will send you an invitation. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.